that's
Is this
Kenny,
your nickname?
Isn't there Kenny Powers? Isn't
Kenny
that
Powers?
Kenny Powers? Yeah, Kenny
Is
Powers
that...
was on this bike here, did the graphics kit here.
Dang, look at all these Grease Monkey garage gloves. Paul, what size are you?
What? 6 inches.
I'm not even sure what I put this on par with. Oh, little hobo territory back here. Maybe this is where the Raz is that was stolen a couple weeks ago. Sick Firebird, bro. You could probably pull a wheelie now if you actually wanted. It rips pretty good though.
This pipe retails for like $300, and it would probably take $300 in labor to de-restrict that stock exhaust.
Yeah, modified.
It's gonna be really lame.
You're gonna blow it up immediately?
It's possible. And I have no concern.
Did you listen to me?
Okay.
Beg your pardon? Listen to me, you piece of shit. Alright, you're going so father.
I'm the father. I'm the father of your child.
I want some more gas.
Oh yeah! Who's gonna win? Paul, Brandon, Brandon, can you tell me who Kenny is?
Ever do that again? That's
Is this
Kenny.
your nickname?
Isn't there Kenny Powers? Isn't
Kenny
that
Powers?
Kenny Powers? Yeah, Kenny
Is
Powers
that-
was on this bike here, did the graphics kit here, did the wiring kit and the little spring-loaded fuel line here.
Where are we now on this bike? Like, what's on it?
We're in the shop on the lift that doesn't work anymore.
Uh-huh.
Went ahead and got a smaller rear sprocket, a bigger front. We put a CDI on it, which is allowing us to rev to, so if you just pull in the clutch and rev it up, it hits about 12.5, but on the street, it really only wants to make power until about 10.5-ish or something like that. Seems to turn on around 6,500, shut off around 10.5. We were kind of tapping out at, I think, low 40s or something like that. That's what we're tapping out at, not because of the engine, but because these gloves are not very good. Because of the gearing. Basically, it's just running out of gearing.
And so beyond the gearing, what have we done?
Gearing, it's got the CDI. Well, it's kind of a CDI coil, or it's a CDI, but it's more of a little more complex. It's got a big fat connector on it and a dip switch and stuff. So this has a couple different maps on it. So larger sprocket in the front, smaller sprocket in the back. This little fancy little thing here. The CDI, larger main jet. We modified the airbox lid and did the pipe and did some Melosi reeds. So
And didn't run the stuffer in the Melosi.
didn't run the stuffer, and so I think we got right on seven wheel horse, I think, with the stock CDI.
Yeah.
So I'm anticipating hopefully getting around like 8.5, something like that. Cool. And I'd be pretty happy because if it gets 8 to the wheel, that means you're somewhere around like 10 to 11 crank, which is pretty good.
So it's it'd be pretty equal with a Grom with like an upgrade or two.
So I'd say right now, with the way the gearing is, it should be pretty much on par with a Grom with a, maybe like a cam, a tune, and an intake, and some sprockets or something like that. Kind of just a basic bolt-on Grom, is my guess. I'm hoping to get in the 60s the way it is right now. First gear topped out at like 5 miles an hour before. So hopefully high 50s, low 60s.
And before the gearing, you were hitting like 40 miles an hour.
Like 40, yeah, 41, something like that. So yeah, the motor's running great. It runs strong. Everything feels really good. It's just running out of gearing. I mean, it's just like tapped out. Around in the 40 or something. You can hear it just doesn't want to go any faster, and I'm hitting like 11.2, something like that. So yeah, this gearing would be okay if you had a, I mean, it's, you know, not really, it's never really going to be okay. I mean, it works fine for a bone stock bike, but definitely too short for what we're doing.
Just literally constantly shifting gears.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna take it for a rip. So we just had kind of temporarily threw a tack up there, just to see what RPM we're hitting. You know, we're just gonna take it for a rip and see. I'm hoping to get high 50s, low 60s, something like that. And again, went with the largest one in the front, the smallest one in the back that we could get quickly. There's a lot more options, a lot more variations, and we've got a bunch of different sprockets here. But we're just gonna start with the extreme and see.
So
I think it's gonna be perfect.
13 in the front, and then what's the rear?
53 in the back.
53, and stock is 1160.
1160.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's giant. Yeah, the back one's aluminum. Big boy.
Is that one aluminum?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, they're both aluminum.
Pretty sweet finish you got here.
You like that? Oh, I'll chop.
Your nifty neochrome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Looks different.
And the sweet pipe over here.
It's a nice pipe. It's clean.
Oh, and then we also got the little stage 6 oil plug.
Oh,
that's good for one horse.
Paul surprised me. Put that on there. He's a real nice fella. Surprised me with any fluid in there.
Dang! Look at all these Grease Monkey garage gloves. Paul, what size are you?
What? 6 inches.
We all know that's a lie.
Hey, man.
What size glove are you, Paul? All these.
Can I try one on?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's see here. Ooh, shit, tight.
Yep, probably too tight.
Hold on.
That's a large.
A carb?
I think the large.
You think the large?
I think they'll break in better.
Yeah?
I think they'll break in and be nice and loose.
Do you want one of these and one of these?
Oh yeah.
You're the biggest one that needs them because your hands get filthy.
They get filled. Well, you know, I think it's the grooves in my hands.
The grooves in your hands, huh?
No, it doesn't get greasy.
I just put it. Oh, you take the
You
box.
said you
part.
like these. You're large, right?
I'm an extra large.
Oh.
Bags.
I'll put these on your desk. And give 3 pairs to Dustin. Hey, Dustin. I got something for you.
Ooh, what are these?
Grease Monkey gloves.
Alright.
So you don't have to wear those nitro gloves all the time.
Nice.
These are, you know, kind of like a happy medium. I like these really a lot when I work on stuff. Or this style, you know.
I didn't see those.
Yeah. And there's these ones. So,
Oh, there's a bunch.
and if you need work on something that's hot or not, then you got these, and then these are more like, kind of like
Yeah.
that.
You ready?
Alright, guys and gals.
Wait, hold on. So, as you saw, we got a whole bunch of Grease Monkey gloves. I'm going to give away a couple sets to the next few orders after this video has gone live for the next, let's say, 48 hours. So, if you make a purchase between the time this video drops and 48 hours from then, I'll go ahead and toss a set of gloves in your order. Just a way of thanking Grease Monkey Gloves for giving us a bunch of gloves for the shop and to help you guys out from keeping your hands from getting burned and getting crazy dirty. Back to the video.
Temporarily threw on a tack because The rev limiter on this guy, I originally thought was just cutting out the RPM, but it actually wasn't. I spoke with Sherco USA today, and they said their big bikes, the trials bikes and whatnot, it retards the timing up top. So pretty sure that's what this guy was doing. It was really weird because it was acting like it was needing more fuel, but in reality it was just retarding that timing, because I threw this up here to watch the tach, because if it's killing your ignition, right, your spark, your tach, your RPM is going to drop off, but it never did. It was always up there. So went ahead, and we have a different computer on this guy. It's a CDI coil pack, everything all in one, and so I just popped it in here to test it out. Map 1 is supposed to be for the 50cc, kind of your stockish map, but de-restricted. Map 2 is for a 70. We're going to try and bolt out. Obviously, we're going to get on the dyno, but before I couldn't get this bike past, like, I don't know, about 8,000. Here you guys go. So it's too rich now, because I kept going up and up and jetting. So it's too rich. I'll have to go back and jet it, but you can hear it's too rich. There's 10.5, 11. So 11K. If I lean it out a little bit, we're definitely gonna get more RPM, but it went from 8 to 11. Now the main restriction is a sprocket, but I can show you guys the acceleration difference. It's just night and day. As you can see, that's still not very fast. It's 65 kilometers, but it still picked up, I think, about 11 miles per hour over stock, which is giant. But as you can hear, the power's there. It's not that it's running out of power, it's that the gearing is just so far off. The ratio is just wrong. Sounds fun, and it sounds good. Steering and handling feels great. I would say speed-wise, boy, I'm not even sure what I put this on par with. Oh, little hobo territory back here. Maybe this is where the Raz is that was stolen a couple weeks ago. Sick Firebird, bro. Type R Racing. Ooh, I don't know about this. Portland is kind of gone in the dumps lately, in case you haven't noticed. But so this is second gear. You guys could see how short the gearing is. This is first. So, well, I didn't know this was coming. You could probably pull a wheelie now if you actually wanted. All right, I'm gonna go on map 1, see if it is actually limited or not. Nope. Now remember, guys, this is not a race pipe. This is like a sport pipe, so it really kind of starts to die off what feels like around 9. There's 10.6, 70 kilometers, 68 kilometers, but it's definitely over revving like crazy. There's 11,000, but it's actually, it's rideable. As you guys can see, it's not super fast, but it is 100% rideable. Oh man. The transmission's really notchy on the AM6, which is what Paul said is really normal, common on these. But it turns on, you guys can see the bike really turns on. maybe at 5,500 turns on, which is definitely really mild and usable for around town and whatnot. This setup is definitely, it's a must. Like, this is a must for this bike, at least at a bare minimum, because it's just too unsafe without it. But yeah, 11K is what you get out of it. It's definitely out of power by that point, but at least now we know. Let's see here, 12. So yeah, map 1's only letting it go to 11.5. Map 2's 12. So this is our top racing computer, which probably isn't necessary for you guys that are going to stay 50, unless you go with a really high winding pipe, because the bike just doesn't make any power up there with this setup, with this cylinder and pipe. Pretty cool to see that stock limiter go away. Also, there are some write-ups on this. Not this bike, I should say, a different bike. In Europe, they're cutting a wire, pulling a wire out of the plug on the computer here. This guy, there's supposedly a black wire in a certain pin location. Well, I tore this one apart. The black wire is not in that location on this bike, so they've done something a little differently with this bike versus the ones over in Europe. I didn't want to really fiddle with messing with the wiring of the ECU. It's not even really ECU, I guess it kind of is, but I didn't really want to mess with the wiring and starting to D-pin stuff, because I already had these on order. Didn't really make much sense. So there you have it. Gonna go ahead and put on the dyno and change the sprocket out, see what kind of speed gains we can get with that.
Alright guys, so as you've seen, we're doing something we've never done before. We gave away the Bug Eye. At the first part of May, we'll do a video and an announcement on who won. We're also giving away a pre-bug. To win, you need to be subscribed. But how else? You gotta click on the information above in the corner to watch the original video so you can enter to win. And don't worry, we're doing more giveaways soon.
Okay guys, we're gonna do a little top speed run on the Sherco. Don't even remember where my keys are. I think if we went bigger on the front sprocket and probably left the back one, we may be all right, and maybe we'll get to 60. But let's see what we can get to now. Paul, hey, what did you do to the bed cover? What? Your bed cover's all messed up. Disrespectful young kids these days, with your pants sagging and your underwear hanging out and your mullet haircut. Jeez. Anyways, we love Paul. Paul's a G. All right, let's see what we can do here. We'll see how accurate the factory speedo is too. Yeah, first year maxes out at like 7 miles an hour. So again guys, it's not fast, but banging through the gears is a lot of fun, and it's not even on the same level as where it was before. Before it wasn't even It was unsafe to use on the street. Now you could ride this bike every day. So this package that we're gonna put together, I'm hoping to shoot for around 500 bucks, somewhere in there. The pipe is not cheap, but we're also not gonna sell junk. We may try a few different ones, but we really like the Suni products. They are Spanish made, good quality, never had one break or crack or anything like that. We can try different things, but I just really like to stick with what works. But to give you an idea, so that was top speed before it maxed out. Find a little bit of a wind here. Well, I hit more. Hit a higher speed before. But riding it is it's great because everybody thinks you're flying, but you're not. I really think with a higher RPM pipe, we definitely get this thing up higher because it wants to turn on right about there, about 6,500. So clearly it's not going to make power at 11,000 RPM. If it's turning on at 6,500, it's this is like a mid all around sport pipe, sport setup. Still fighting with this transmission. It's the 50 has no torque either, so I'm thinking about maybe trying a different pipe. Maybe we have a couple options for the stock 50 pipe, because this one I feel like, you know, maybe if we find something that revs higher, maybe we don't have to sacrifice too much down low. There's really no point in even revving past like 9,000 RPM because it just doesn't want to make power up there. It rips pretty good though, for a 50. Oh, then now it's picking up. Yeah, so right there is about 45. I got it up to, I think, 52 earlier. But, yeah, so maybe let's see about getting a bigger sprocket in the front. It may be a different pipe and just trying one more combination before we go to the 70. Again, really trying to see what we can get, find a really good combo for somebody who doesn't want to go higher in CC. I think most people are going to want to go higher in CC just because it's kind of the nature of the bike, but would be nice to have some options for you guys.